Hi, you're about to discover how a regular person can become a successful trader in weeks, not years, and avoid the losses and wasted time that most people incur. Hi, Brian McAvoy here with Inside Out Trading, and welcome, because this is going to be the one video that you wish you could have seen when you very first started trading. This is going to save you tons of stress and regret and mistakes, and really just put your mind at ease about this whole activity of trading. And if you've been trading for a while and you're struggling with certain things, you're also going to see how to fix what's been going on and really make it all very simple. This is very doable. And the thing is, there's just certain things you've been missing up till now. You're about to find out what they are. So let's get started. Okay, now some of the things that we're going to cover that really are essential, and even if you've been trading for a while, even if you think you already know these, pay attention, because these items are where a lot of people get things wrong, and that's what makes trading profitably so difficult. So if you've been having a tough time, pay attention, because like I said, it's the misconceptions that really throw a lot of traders up on the rocks. Okay, for example, we're going to talk about where your advantage and your ability to be a trader and make money from the markets comes from in the first place. Next, we're going to talk about what is trading and what is a trading system. Again, these are things where people just assume that they know because of the conversations that they've had, in becoming a trader and everything. But most people get them wrong, and this is the source of many difficulties and huge obstacles in general to making money consistently, confidently, and on a regular basis. We're also going to take a look at how, when things do go wrong, or what's been missing, how that impacts your mentality, your ability to function, your ability to trade well, your ability to stick to your system, all that kind of stuff. We're going to take a look at this as well. These are really crucial, basic, foundational matters to being a trader. No, I'm not going to even get into the whole, trading as a business topic. That's a whole different topic. This is really about some foundational understandings in being a successful trader, and again, getting there in just a matter of weeks. Now, you may be sitting there thinking, yeah, Brian, I've been at this for 5 years and it's a whole lot tougher than that. Okay, I totally understand where you're coming from. I talked to a lot of people, got the same perspective, and it's well-founded, I know, because it's been your experience. But here's the thing, and here's proof that what I'm telling you is true, and I didn't even generate this proof. This was done, you may have heard about the turtle experiment years ago. This is where a couple of guys, they placed a bet saying, one guy's sitting there saying, no, you have to be gifted to be a trader. The other guy's sitting there saying, no, this is something that a regular person can learn, and we're going to prove it. We're going to find out. So they conducted an experiment. They rounded up a number of people from different backgrounds, not MIT graduates, not high level, people of a variety of backgrounds and education levels, and they put them into a training for a few weeks, learning the turtle system. But they were getting a whole lot of other training as well, not just the system. See, this is one of the downfalls of most traders. They think that if they just grab a good system, then that's all they need. What the turtle traders did was I also ran them through just some plain good training on how to be a trader. And so what they did was they taught them the system, of course, but they also taught them a lot of these other things about just plain how to be a good trader. Certain considerations and caveats that really make all the difference in the world. And what, as a result of that experiment, and it didn't last years. This was done over a matter of weeks. A lot of those initial students, again from a variety of backgrounds, wound up going on to become multimillionaires and legendary traders. And that's really cool, and that's good news for you, because it's proof that yes, a regular person can become a successful trader if you're given the right training and it covers all the necessary bases. Now, if you've been trading for a while and you've established, or you've had a lot of bad experiences, that mess with you mentally, that interfere with your trading, cool. So what you're about to find out are some of the things that you can do to undo the damage that's been done. Because trust me, I know how it feels, when you've had a trade that you're just sure of, and you kind of go all in on it, and it just absolutely blows up your account, and you're sitting there beating yourself up afterwards, all that kind of stuff. Been through that multiple times, so I know where you're coming from, and having those memories come back and mess with you on a regular basis when you're trying to just plain go through your regular trading day. I know what that's like. You're going to learn how to undo a lot of that so that you can kind of come back, get a fresh start, do it right. And basically the approach that I take, and what you're going to find out here, the process to do this, it's really cool. I mean, really, the main thing is you need to undo, the damage that's been done, get, the proper things in place, and start small, establish success, and then build on that success. And do it in a very safe and risk-free manner. And I'm talking about risk-free where, you're not losing money to find out, what works and what doesn't. So this is really cool. Okay, so let's jump into the individual topics. Okay, so let's start off with some of the key understandings. And this will help you, like I said, if you've had your confidence dashed, if you're just feeling like, the markets are, it's almost like they're out to get you, like there's somebody on the other side of the screen who's just messing with you on a daily basis. Trust me, like I said, I know the feeling. And it's like, especially if things have just been going against you, and it's on a regular basis. Like I said, to feel like there's somebody watching what you're doing and they're trying to antagonize you, I get that. So here's something that's really important to understand. Again, this is one of the basic core concepts of trading. Your advantage in trading, what allows you to be a trader in the first place. Yes, there is a ton of uncertainty in the markets from moment to moment, from day to day. Nobody knows what's going to happen. I mean, nobody can sit there and say, I know what the price of gold is going to be tomorrow, or I know what the price of oil is going to be a week from now. True, but we're not trying to trade the uncertainty of the markets, because if you think about it, the markets, it's people. And, it used to be only people. Now it's people and also programs, but that's okay because the programs also bring a certain order to things. What you'll see in every trader, whoever has ever developed any kind of a winning system, what they've done is they've studied lots of charts and they've identified where there are certain patterns, or, they'll just call them patterns because that's what they are, that they see over and over again. And what these patterns are response patterns. There's been something that happened that triggered a response in the markets, the people that make up the markets. And so what you see on the charts is a behavioral response pattern. And that has some predictability to it. It's not 100%, of course. But human nature doesn't change. People are going to respond a certain way. When there's something that comes along that strikes fear in the markets, or a ton of confidence or greed. Anyway, it causes a response, and that response pattern plays out. And the cool thing about it is, again, the systems that have been developed have identified these patterns, and the developer or the creator of those systems has been able to take the beginning of that and identify the beginning of it. So they say, oh, when I see this, now I know that here's what to expect the rest of the way. And the cool thing about it is, generally speaking, not all the time, of course, but generally speaking, once a response pattern has been initiated, it's going to play out unless something comes along to disrupt it. Now, granted, that's where the uncertainty comes along, and none of them are 100%. But this is really cool because this is where your advantage as a trader comes in, and this is what you're trying to do as a trader, is identify where now it's not uncertain. Now it's not just a big, random thing. No, now we're entering a small window, a moment in time where we have some predictability to it. And we've been able to, we've been able to develop systems. We're going to come back and deal with the word systems again here shortly. But anyway, we've been able to develop systems or methods where we can say, all right, I see this, now I kind of know what to expect. And it becomes predictable enough repeatedly that now we can build a foundation on it. We can build a business on it, because now, okay, I got something that I can do over and over and over again and make money most of the time. And so long as I'm putting the right things in place and I'm following it, cool. I can make money as a trader. Okay, I know this is like 0001, for traders, but that's okay. It's really important that you keep this in mind, especially if you're feeling like the uncertainty in the markets, or I just never know what to expect from the markets. If that's been an overriding feeling for you, cool. Get back to this understanding, because it is a fact. Most of the time, yes, there's uncertainty in the markets. Nobody knows, given moment to moment, when an event will happen that initiates a response pattern. But once a response pattern is initiated, cool, now we have some predictability to work with. And that's where your advantage and your opportunity as a trader to begin with comes from, is these windows of predictability. Okay, so that's cool, and that's really, really, really important. That's the foundation, that's the core essence of trading as an activity, period, is where you have some predictability to it. Okay, If it was truly random, if it truly was 100% uncertain and every moment was just random, we wouldn't be able to do this. But the markets are real people, and so there is some order to the markets. There are windows of predictability that come along to it. This is cool. This is really encouraging, because yes, this is where the real opportunity comes from. And how you can get to it in weeks, not years, is by knowing how to approach this whole matter in a way that you can get organized, you can get yourself doing the right things, working with the right tools, the right perceptions, the right understandings, the right habits to take advantage of it and to do it in a manner that works. Cool. Okay, so let's keep moving on. Okay, so what we're going to talk about next is what trading actually is. Again, most people get this wrong. It's not what you think it is. And what a system is. These are concepts, these are words that are used thousands of times by traders throughout their career. Most people are dealing with them, and they have the wrong meaning attached to these words. When you have the right meaning attached to it, this is what allows you to come at it in a manner that works and makes it all feasible. It allows you to go about your trading in a calm, effective manner that works. Okay. Before we jump into that, I want to address one thing it's a question that I get on a regular basis. Not every day, but on a regular basis. Somebody send me an email saying, "Hey, Brian, are there really market manipulators? I mean, are there people who, they're kind of driving the markets?" And I even sent out an email a while back saying, if you don't believe in conspiracy theories, well, you're just being naive. And with the markets, that's the same thing. Are there conspiracies? Yeah, true, yes, to a certain, not conspiracies, but or theories. There are real conspiracies. Is it true that there are people who've gotten insanely wealthy and do things, whatever they can, and they have found things that they can do to manipulate the markets, and sometimes they're working with other people, hence conspiracy? Yes, of course. People who achieve billionaire status, the Carnegies of the world, the super rich people, they get there because they're very effective at long-term planning and executing those plans. And so they're not just sitting back, waiting for things to be handed to them, just taking whatever the markets will give them. They're used to going out there and getting it. And do they sometimes do things that are questionable ethic-wise or ethically? Yes, of course they do. It happens. When you're talking about people who are hungry for money and power, yes, they exist. They are out there. They do have money and power, and they do things to further their position. And that's okay. It is a fact of life. It's a fact of human nature. So to understand, yes, are there market manipulators out there? Yes, they are. There are. Are there conspiracies that are happening? People colluding to make things happen in the markets for their own gain? Yes, of course. But that doesn't mean that you can't trade and trade profitably as an individual. You can, and that's okay. So just understand, yes, that does exist, has always existed. People are going to, they're going to do what they can to further their advantage or give themselves an advantage. So it's just human nature. It's going to happen, but that doesn't mean that they're taking away your opportunity. You just have to, again, learn how to understand that's part of trading. That's part of life in the financial world. And you can be okay with it. You can still make money. You can still accomplish your goals, even knowing that that's true. Okay, so just put your mind at ease. Yes, it's there, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're preventing you from being successful. Okay, just want to throw that in there before we jump into what's next, because this next concept is really crucial that you understand this. Now, I like asking people, what is trading? And most people, what is trading to you? The answer that I get from most people is, well, it's buying and selling securities. Whether various instruments, maybe they're stocks or bonds or options or contracts, whatever. But we're buying and selling financial instruments, and in one regard, that's true. But the act of trading itself, if you think about it, you're not physically, down at a marketplace, physically exchanging things by hand. And even if you were, this still holds true. Trading, in its essence, is a decision-making process. You're taking in information, whatever the price is and whatever your indicators are telling you. You're taking in information, you're evaluating that information against certain criteria, and then you're making decisions based on that evaluation. After you make the decision, then you're going to take action, which leads to the next decision. So it's a decision-making process. It really is, and it's the process of, identifying or looking for and identifying certain opportunities where, again, we have these windows of predictability. And okay, now, I see an opportunity where I have a pretty decent probability to know what to expect is coming. That's cool. This is your opportunity as a trader. Okay, so we're taking that information in, and we're evaluating it against certain criteria, and it's our step-by-step. And your system, the next question I love asking people is, what is a trading system? The answer that I usually get back is, well, it's my indicators and my rules. And that's what I get most of the time from people is, what is a trading system? Well, no, the truth of the matter is your trading system, it's what you do. It's your rules and indicators are part of it. They're tools that you use in what you're doing. But your system is what you do. It's your step-by-step procedure for, again, identifying, moments of or windows of predictability, getting in a prescribed manner so that you can, have that predictability play out and exit the markets and make, at a profit. That's the whole essence of trading and a trading system. A system is a systemized method for getting into and out of the markets profitably. But it's what you do. It's a procedure. Now, here's where it screws up so many traders. Is they're looking at a system as indicators and charts and price. And when I ask them, mentally, visually, what comes to mind when you think about a trading system and their charts and what they're looking at, that's what comes up. And they're not looking at it as that. No, it's my step-by-step, how I place trades. Well, here's where this becomes a problem for so many traders. First of all, if they're thinking, well, it's my rules, my rules. And so that's how it's written, and that's how they're acting upon it. And a lot of times they're also getting hung up trying to build a system that captures every opportunity they can imagine. So I've had some traders, when we're talking about trading systems, say, send it in to me, let's get it squared away. They're sending me in 10, 12, 15 page documents that are their system, and they're trying to capture every opportunity that they can imagine. That by itself represents a problem, because any process, any business process, needs to be simple, and it needs to be a process. And depending on what's going on, you're not going to do everything. You're going to do one thing. You're going to apply one method. And so it's really important for you to understand this. When what you're working with is huge, and it's overwhelming, or it's confusing, or it's just confusing, or just plain lacks clarity, it's really going to be tough to do on a regular basis. Now, here's an example of where this. I love this example because it really just exemplifies how this affects your ability to trade profitably and predictably and with some security in what you're doing. I was talking with this guy last week on the phone, and I asked him to describe his system to me, and he's like, well, I follow certain stocks, and I look for low risk setups, and then I get in on them, and I can ride them up or down, and then I get out. And I said, okay, but how do you decide when you're looking at something if it's low risk? And he's like, well, I just look at the charts and I kind of know what it looks like. And I'm like, so do you always do that the same way? He's like, oh yeah, I do it real well. I'm like, really? So, but you just got done telling me that, you can make money for a few days, and then in like 1 or 2 days, you'll hand it all back. Sometimes you blow up your account. It's like, yeah, that happens. That's been happening for 10 years. I said, have you ever had a profitable year? He said, well, no. And so I said, well, understand something. Is your trading system, is it written down? He's like, no. I said, so how do you know, from one day to the next, 1 month to the next, what's low risk? Does it ever change? When you're looking at the charts and you've just had 3 days of winning trades, does that ever affect how you view what you're looking at as far as is it low risk or not? Versus if you just, blew up your account yesterday or this morning and you're looking at the same setup on the chart, does how risky that setup is, does that change? And he's like, oh yeah. I mean, if I just blew my account, man, they all look risky. And yeah, honestly, if I've had been on a winning streak, they don't look so risky. And I'm like, so you don't really have a really good method for deciding whether something's low risk or not, right? It's like, well, yeah, I kind of just go on, how it feels and what I see. And this is crucial. This is absolutely crucial. If you're a discretionary trader, which this guy is, he would just look at the charts and kind of make a gut feel. He didn't have a clear method for determining whether something was too risky to trade or if it was safe and he should go ahead and pursue it. This is absolutely essential. And almost every trader that I talk to, what they're working with to a large degree is discretionary. There are whole lots of points in their trading system, their decision flow, where it's not clear. It's subject to change. And depending on how things have been going, how you're feeling that day, it's subject to change. Well, if you're doing that, you're introducing more variables to what you're doing. You're introducing variables to the process. And one of the main, really essential discoveries that came out of the whole turtle trading experiment, and they state it right up front in the book about it, is that you have to work with a mechanical system. You just plain have to, because the discretion points are variables, and they're subjective variables. There's something that it's simply, all it does is it takes away that predictability that is your advantage. So, I mean, they don't state it that way. They just say, you need to stick with a mechanical system. Now, is it possible for you to be a discretionary trader? Yes. And here's where we're going to step into the next topic here. Is it possible for you to be a successful discretionary trader? I know a lot of people, they don't want to follow a mechanical system. They want to be a discretionary trader. And that's fine, only if certain conditions are met. And here's what I'm talking about. And this comes from experience. And if you think about it, it only makes sense. A lot of your information processing, when you're taking in the information, when you're looking at the charts, and you're looking at your indicators, a whole lot of conclusions and processing is going on below your conscious level. It's going on at the subconscious level, and your RAS, your reticular activating system, has filters for what gets up to your conscious mind to then make conscious decisions with. Well, when you're being a discretionary trader, that means that you're relying on a lot of this subconscious processing that's going on. Well, if you don't have several months, at least 6, I'd say, at least at the bare minimum 3 months of successful trading, where you're trading on a daily basis and you're successful, you're properly identifying and consistently identifying good setups and good execution of trades, and you're wiring your brain and your nervous system with successful trading for months. Like I said, absolute minimum 3, preferably 6 or more. Well, if you haven't been wiring your nervous system and your brain, to do this processing correctly, subconsciously, it's really high risk if you're sitting there relying on that to make your decisions in your trading. That's why it's so essential that you have a mechanical system so that your decision-making process is very clear, it's very repeatable, it's very consistent. Again, so that you're making the decisions according to criteria and the method that you've reasoned out outside of trading, and it's very clear, it's very repeatable. Again, repeatable. You want to minimize the variables. Are the decisions always going to be the same? No, but you need your process to be consistent, so that as you're meeting, situations that either match or don't match your criteria, you're taking the appropriate actions. So if you want to be a discretionary trader, that's fine, but really only do so after you've had several months of successful, consecutive months of successful trading, where you've been wiring your subconscious and ingraining the proper pattern recognition, so that when you look at the charts, it gives you good information, reliable information. That's where a lot of these guys, these legendary traders, the guys that get into the competitions and stuff, have been trading for 10, 12 years, and they've got a lot of years in as mechanical traders, and they're successful, and they can jump over here and just look at a chart, and they know because they've had all those months of successful trading for their subconscious to be programmed. That's why they can go into it fearlessly, because they've gone beyond the conscious competence to now where they're unconsciously competent. They can just look at a chart and they know. But that didn't happen unless they are gifted and natural, and that's extremely rare. A lot of these guys, they put in the years doing things the hard way, and eventually, it all got wired into them. And eventually they had to come around to working with a mechanical system anyway, if nothing else, just again to eliminate yourself as a variable. So, okay. I know that was a lot to take in, but really this is key that you understand. Let's do a real quick recap here. Okay, so you're looking at you're looking at your trading where, yes, the markets are uncertain as far as when events are going to occur that trigger emotional response patterns. Yes, that is uncertain. Nobody knows when they're going to, those events are going to occur. But we do have, windows of predictability where things are happening that now, okay, this is showing us a known emotional response pattern that's playing out, and we can catch the beginning of it, and a certain percentage of the time, where now we can calculate the probability of it and everything. Now we have some predictability. The uncertainty level goes way down. Most of the time, so uncertainty is way up here, predictability is down here. But there are moments, there are windows where they shift, where now, oh, okay, there's something going on here that has a predictable nature to it, and the uncertainty is pretty low. Is it 100 and 0? No, but they shift, and now we have a little window here where we can deal with some. Yeah, it's pretty predictable. I have a really good and well-founded sense of what's to come. Okay. And understanding that, okay, trading is really, it's the decision-making process where we're looking for that information. We take that information in, we evaluate it, and then we act on that evaluation. Or we make decisions on that evaluation, and we act on the decisions. And that we have a flow. And your trading system is your procedure for going through the decision-making process. Okay. When you have a good, clear decision-making process, good, clear trading system, now you have something that's repeatable and it's also measurable. So now when you go into your trading, if you know what to expect from your trading, I mean, the biggest hang-up most traders have, and their fear of missing out, their fear of losing money, most of their fears come from this unknown. I don't know what to expect. That's the problem. It's because, yes, they don't have a good, clear method where they have some knowing about it. We're going to talk about knowingness here in just a minute, because this is also crucial to being able to trade confidently, consistently, and long term with some reliability in there. Okay. So when you develop a system, and now it does have a good high repeatability to it, and it's very clear, so it's easy to trade and trade consistently. Now we can come over here and you can test it, and you can develop your skill with it and get good with it. The main thing about it is it's really a huge confidence booster in where you know what you're doing. And this is where so many traders, their early years, they get started off on the wrong foot, is where you jump into trading, you grab a system, or maybe you sit, the broker says, well, here we got this trading room, this guy will show you how to trade, and you sit in there for a couple of weeks watching this guy trade, and you copy what he's doing, and okay, great, he's making money, or maybe he's not. But you have this false confidence, okay, I know what I'm doing, and then you jump out here, you start trading with real money, and there's a huge amount of anxiety because there's hope, you have some reason to think that, okay, maybe this will work, but as soon as the markets start doing what they do naturally and things aren't working the way you expect, now the anxiety level goes up, the I don't know what to expect goes up, and that's huge. And then if you continue to trade that way, I mean, the biggest mistake traders make is trading with real money before they really are honestly properly prepared to do so. Most traders, normal human beings, I did it too, you jump into it, you look at trading, it's simple enough, I get it. And so you jump into it, you get busy. You find out it's not that simple, but hey, I'm smart. I've figured out things tougher than this before. And so you jump into it and you take a beating for a long time, and you keep getting the lesson to know it's not as easy as it looks. And you may have some periods where, hey, yeah, I'm kind of hitting a hot streak here. And then all that does is further build your false confidence. It's only when you get settled down, you have the proper understandings, that you can build the proper confidence that you need. And where most traders go wrong, they get busy trading and often trade for years. Years of experience don't count if it's bad experience. If you've been trading for 10 years and you've never had a profitable year, you've only had a few profitable months, most of them have been break-even or losing months, those 10 years don't count. Experience doesn't count if it's bad experience. Only good experience counts, and so it's important to, again, back up, get clear on what you need to do, start small, establish success, move forward, and build on that success. Okay? So what does that mean? But if you've already been trading and you established a bunch of bad habits, bad perspectives, like practicing bad trading, practicing emotional trading, practicing non-profit trading, practicing making money, giving it back, making money, giving it back, or just giving up money, losing money, blowing up an account. If that's what you've been practicing, it's time. First thing you need to do, big thing, stop trading with real money. If you're not making money, if you're not making money knowingly, stop trading with real money. You got to give yourself a huge pattern interrupt, because what you've done in these months and possibly years that you've been trading unsuccessfully, that's what you've been practicing, and that's what you've established as an overall pattern with a bunch of sub patterns inside that. In order to turn it around and get profitable, you have to break that pattern, the big pattern and the smaller patterns. First thing to do is stop trading with real money. Give yourself that huge pattern interrupt. That can be scary, I know. Just the fact that it's like, man, I've been doing this for so long, this is part of my daily life now. Fine. Understand, you want a break. You want a change. You want to get around to profitable trading. So yes, there's going to be a slight, a period of, discomfort here, because you're going to go through a period of change. But the first thing it has to change is give up the familiarity of unprofitable trading. It's familiar, so it has some comfort to it. It's become part of your comfort zone. But if you want to change it, first thing to do is stop trading with real money. Stop trading altogether for a week or two if you can do it. But at the very least, stop trading with real money. Give yourself the relief from the stress, the relief from the pressure, the relief from things not working the way you want, the relief from the cycle of try and fail, try and fail, try and fail. Just give yourself a break from all that negative stuff that hasn't worked. Okay? It's huge. Just stop trading with real money. Don't trade with real money until you're going into it knowing that the odds are in your favor and it is extremely likely that you're going to make money. And you know it, and you can measure it, and you can state in dollars how much you should plan on making in a certain time frame. That's one of the keys to trading, is getting yourself so properly organized that your confidence is there before you ever start. And I'm not talking about courage, where you're just overriding fears and you're going ahead anyway. I'm talking about confidence, where you've got well-founded proof with your own two hands that what you're going to do is going to work. And you know the probabilities, you know the likelihood of it, and you know what to expect from your own hands and from yourself, because you've given yourself proof by your own hands. This is huge, okay? So, step one, stop trading with real money. Step two, you might miss out on profits. Every day profits are made. Okay, let's just take a minute for another huge matter to deal with. Not too long ago, I threw it out there on several forums, Facebook groups, and just all over the place. What's one of your biggest hangups? What's one of your biggest obstacles? And so many people said fear of missing out. And it's a legitimate fear. When and of course, Forex is the worst of it, it seems. Talk about how much money's flowing through the markets every day. There's billions of dollars, trillions of dollars flowing through here every day. You want to get your piece of it. Okay, understandable. If you're not trading, then yes, you're missing the opportunity to make money. That's true. That's a fact. Even when you are trading, in any given hour, there are literally millions of trades being placed in any given hour, and you can't have them all. You're only going to have what you can have. And all the rest of those trades out there, all the rest of those winners that occur during that hour are going to be there, and that happens all day, every day. Okay? The sooner you can accept the fact that there's going to be money changing hands, and somebody's making money, somebody's losing money, but somebody's making money all around the world, not just in the markets, but even in the markets. And you can be okay with that. I mean, how big of a slice of that pie do you need? If you know that there's, $100 million flowing through this one particular instrument that you want to trade every day, okay? How much of that $100 million do you need to, be participating in, to be comfortable where you can say, I'm okay with the rest of it being there. I just need this a little bit and I'm okay. I mean, this exercise that I'm taking you through is to help you get settled down about it. Okay. I mean, do you need all $100 million to settle down? Or would $1 million be okay? Would $100,000 be okay? Would $10,000 be okay? If you could just get $10,000 out of that $100 million, if you could only get $10,000 of it, could you be okay with the all that other money flowing by and you're not getting part of it? Okay. Could you be okay with $1,000? If you only made $1,000 this hour, could you be okay with the fact that all that other $99,999,000 is all flowing by and you don't have your hand in that pot? You're just getting your $1,000 over here. Could you be okay with that? You got to learn to be okay with that. Yes, there are jillions of opportunities. Be okay with what you've got in front of you. Okay? I'm not saying to settle for less. All I'm saying is don't drive yourself crazy looking at all that big pile over there that you're not getting part of it, because that big pile is going to be there and you're never going to have all of it. It's like with my kids. We talk about, when they were little. It's like, okay, what do you want to watch on TV? You want to watch Discovery Channel, or do you want to watch, this or this? Oh, well, but if we're watching this, then I'm going to be missing that. Or it's like, how about you just go outside and play? Oh, but I might be missing something on TV, and it's like that's true. And even if you're sitting here watching this particular show, you're still missing 499 other channels that are all going on now too. So no matter what happens, you're missing out on everything else. Can you be okay with that? Okay. I mean, like I said, don't necessarily settle for less, but don't antagonize yourself. Don't drive yourself crazy over all that you're not getting there, because in a given moment, there's an entire Earth and 7 billion people and all the activity that goes with that. Every moment of your life, there's an entire world going on around you. And can you be just okay with what you have in front of you and what you're dealing with? And allow the rest of the world to be there, and you can be okay with that. That's where you want to get to. So you can settle down, get past the fear of missing out. Is it all out there? Yes, it is. But that's okay. Attend to what's in front of you. If you want more, fine. Start small, establish success, build to more. Build to where you want to build it to. Start small, establish success, then build to where you want to be. Okay? Does that make sense? Learn to be okay with the big pile being there. Attend to what's in front of you. This is where you need to be a good friend of yourself. Okay, so that's really a good way to attend to the fear of missing out. And we were talking about that because I was saying really one of the things you need to do if you've been trading for any time at all and you've just kind of really established a normal of unprofitable trading and trading that's not enjoyable, it's not making you money, it's more stress than it is fun and all that kind of stuff. If that's what you've established, one of the first things you got to do if you're ever going to turn it around is break that pattern. And really the best way to do that is to start by not continuing that, and that means taking a break from trading with real money. Preferably giving yourself a break from trading. Because see, the thing is, in order to establish anything new, we have to stop establishing and reinforcing the old, okay? So it's really important. So break the pattern, understand, yes, well, you're taking a break, you're not making money, and that's okay, because you're also taking a break from all the negative stuff, and you're giving yourself the chance to start something new. And that's really important that you do right now. Now, the other thing I was talking about, and it's really important, is establishing proof with your own two hands. Now, the mistake traders make is they'll hear about some system on a forum or a webinar or whatever. They'll hear about some guy's system or signal service or newsletter or whatever. But it's here's how to trade and make lots of money. And you go off of that person's claims and what you saw in the presentation, and they showed you their account and all that crap. And the thing is, so long as you're going off of things that other people have done, whether it's legitimate or not, whether it's valid or not, that's secondary, because the main thing is it wasn't with your two hands. So it's courage that you're working with. You're going to have some doubt, you're going to have some question, and you're having to summon the courage to move forward with it, based on somebody else's doing. But when you do something with your own two hands, and you do it in a knowing manner, that's the kind of proof that gives you real confidence. That's when that gives you that level of knowing that gives you real security, where you've done it, you knew what you were doing while you were doing it, you saw the results that you expected. Or maybe you didn't see the results you expected at first, you learned from it, and then you achieved the results you expected. Maybe you went through that cycle a few times. But the thing is, there's no bigger level of truth than your own experience. You can't experience somebody else's, results. You can experience your own results. And so if you want real confidence, you want real knowing, you want to get beyond the anxiety, that not knowing what to expect from the markets, not knowing what to expect from yourself. Will you be able to stick to your rules today? The whole anxiety and fear business. The way you get past that is you establish the real confidence from going into things in a knowing manner. No better way to do that than establishing proof by your own hands. And that's huge. Now, as a trader, again, trading is a skilled occupation. It's one that you can learn. Now, we've been talking about it, okay? What's going on with trading? Well, we're dealing with the markets over here. That's generally uncertain environment, but we have windows of predictability which we can capitalize on. Okay, if we can go into those in a knowing manner with a knowing method, and we can establish some proof that our method works and we know how well it works, and we've established proof that, okay, the method works and me trading it works. I've done this. I went into it knowing this is what I intended to do and it worked, or it worked most of the time, but at least I know how much of the time. So now you have some probabilities to work with, and they're well founded, and it's proof. It's proof by your own hands. It's not Joe Blow and what he did with this system. It's you and what you've done with this system. This is where you get real confidence, and you can go into your trading. And if things, think about this. As human beings, going through school and everything, we're trained to, pursue that 100%. Go for the, always, choose the right answer, all this kind of stuff. But in sports, and this is where the great advantage in sports comes in, is knowing that we're not perfect. And like in baseball, love baseball because even a Hall of Fame batter like George Brett in his heyday with the 1985 Royals that won the World Series, he was batting .400. That means 40% of the time he would get a hit, 60% of the time he would get out when he went to the plate. And he was a Hall of Famer batting that well. Guys who are batting .300 are considered pretty good. So here's the thing, you got this, this occupation where they're only going to succeed 30% of the time. Okay? And they know that. Are they still giving it their best effort every time they step to the plate? Of course they are. Do they know that most of the time they're not going to get on base? Yeah. And that's okay. It's part of the game. Same thing with trading. When you know roughly how many, what kind of percentage of the time, you're going to succeed or you're going to be right, that helps with your confidence. If you, and broadening your time perspective, so you're not just hung up on this trade. If you've proven things over 50 or 100 or 200 trades with your own hands, and you know that X percent of the time your system is going to be on the mark, and it's going to win, and X percent of the time it's going to lose, and this is what to expect, and you have realistic expectations by your own hands. Now you can go into your trading. Now it becomes natural to stick to your system when things are getting dicey, and you can trade from poise and confidence, and you're establishing all the right patterns and the right programming in your subconscious and conscious. And when you're doing things in a knowing manner and you're organized, and again, you're doing it from competence and skill and knowing, that is an entirely different experience than going off of hoping or hunches or, I did great yesterday, but because, everything felt right and all that. No, when you're doing it off of knowing and skill, which can be learned, and you have the right understandings, the right perspectives, these are things that can be done and accomplished in a matter of weeks. When I take people through the Trading System Mastery course, we go in detail into everything that we've been talking about, how to make all this happen so that you have the skill set. And typically it takes about 30 days for people to go through this. And almost everybody that does, their confidence when we're starting out is here at a 1 or a 2, maybe a 3. They come out of it, they're at an 8 or a 9 or a 10 because now, and it's not just, they're amped up. They're feeling confident because now they have the skills, they have the competency that they need to have the confidence to go into it in a knowing manner, knowing that they're okay, knowing that what they've got works, and they know how to deal with it when things are changing, and that's huge. Now, I've been sharing all this stuff with you so that if you've been having a rough time with your trading, yes, these perspectives hopefully will help you settle down, get a healthier more useful perspective on trading and your trading and what's been going wrong, and maybe, and hopefully, some of the things you've been doing right. Trading is it's an occupation like many where you can't be, doing half the things right and half the things wrong. You got to be doing most or all of the things right. And this is how to go about doing it right. Is it a super complex and huge, sophisticated profession? No, but it is a skilled profession, and you do have to get good at certain things, and it is absolutely within your capabilities. So part of the reason I've been doing this, and I've been doing it in this fashion with you, where I'm just kind of having a conversation. Last week I did a free call-in day where people could just call in and we'll talk about their trading. Wasn't trying to sell them anything. It's like, hey, just tell me what's going on. And almost everybody that I talked to, these were the things that were coming up. This is the kind of stuff that they were missing. And at the end of the conversation, like, wow, yeah, this has been really helpful. So I wanted to share it with you. Almost everybody said, hey, do you have a course or something, where we get more into this, where, how to get my system clear and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, but, we're just talking about, getting you, attending to what you want right now. And that's what we did. If this has been helpful for you, excellent. Then I've achieved my objective. If you want to take it further, if you want to look into the Trading System Mastery course, cool. Go to InsideOutTrading.com. There's a link at the top of the page. You can get signed up right now. If you want to, if you want more information, on consistency and how to get there. Part of my qualifications are I'm a certified quality engineer, and quality is all about getting good at something, getting consistent about it. That's the foundation of quality assurance in the business world, and it has accounted for massive trillions of dollars over the last several decades. It took Japan to being an economic superpower. It's what's brought the U.S. back in the automotive industry. In so many industries, quality is powerful. It's success by design, and that's what I'm bringing to you in trading. This is how a regular person can become a successful trader in as little as 30 days, in a matter of weeks, not years. It's going into it in a knowing manner with the right perspectives, understanding what you need to do, what you need to learn. Here's how you learn it. Here's how you develop the skills. Here's how you go into it in a knowing manner. And the main thing about it is, please, if you're not making money right now, if you're struggling to make money, if you're losing money, if you're not making money in a knowing manner, take a break from trading with real money. It breaks my heart every time I hear, I get an email or a phone call from somebody and they're like, Brian, I've been losing money and I'm just so tired of losing money. What can I do? And I have the same advice for every one of them. Until you can come into it in a knowing manner where your confidence is high that you're good, stop trading with real money. Stop losing money. Stop trading with real money. Stop actually losing money. That's the first step. If you want my help, if you want to talk about this, give me a call. Again, go to my site, InsideOutTrading.com. I want to see you succeed. I really do. I know how excellent trading can be when it works. It is the best business to be in. It offers so many things that other pursuits don't. But when it's not working, it can suck so bad. And I want to help you avoid the sucky part, the anguish, the heartache that so many people experience in trading. And I really, if nothing else, I want to help you stop losing money. If I can help you get things turned around and where you're really making money and it turns into all that you've wanted to, excellent. But I'm here to help you. I started doing this because I know the experience, and again, I want to help you avoid the heartache and the anguish that most people experience and actually get onto what works, so that you can enjoy things and get onto the things that you want to do. So I'm going to sign off now. I hope this has been helpful. Again, swing by InsideOutTrading.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you found this helpful, if you know of any other traders that you think would benefit from this, hey, share it with them. Hop on your Facebook page or whatever. Share it with them. Send it to them in an email. But anyway, hope this video has been helpful. We'll talk to you soon.